Hello there, Jerry Moore here, and I believe this is my 11th video I uploaded, and I upload them to Rumble and to YouTube, and I get a decent amount of activity on Rumble, but I haven't gotten anything from any real hits, maybe one or two out of all the videos on YouTube. I guess that's a small fish in a big pond. And I'm still a small fish in a big pond on Rumble, but I don't think the pond's quite as big yet, even though hopefully that changes. I think it's a much better platform as far as censorship goes and stuff like that. And well, anyway, I don't want to get into all that, but it just seems like it's a it's more opportunity on Rumble. I like I like that website. I like that platform, and that's really kind of where I'm focusing. But anyway, my company is Reassurance Consulting. Reassuranceconsulting.com is a website. Please check that out. And just to make a note, I've mentioned this before. That website is my baby because I bought the domain name on GoDaddy, and I got maybe a few lessons from GoDaddy on how to build a website, and but basically it's trial and error, and I've been building that by myself on my own. And it's not that I don't look for counsel. I've certainly seek counsel and people who want to help me out on how to do that, but a lot of trial and error, and I'm really happy with the way that turned out. So um, anyway, the phone number is 607-873-6736, and my email is reassuranceconsulting@gmail.com, and you can reach me there as well. So on my website, I offer, I would say reassurance consulting. I would say reassurance consulting and coaching, because of through a lot of um, what I've gone through, what I've overcome, my trial and errors, and um, having gone through a lot of the struggles that I've gone through when I was younger, and and um, being a outward person, I was wearing quite a few masks, and fear of being exposed about a lot of things that I was feeling, going through, what has happened to me, and what and kind of protecting. I guess that would be the right word. Protecting myself from exposure about a lot of what had gone on in my life, what was going on in my life, and how I was dealing with that, and how I was protecting myself from that. And the biggest thing would be fear of judgment, and if what I was doing to cope with what had happened um, was to get out or be discovered, then that would be bad. And that's running from the truth. And what it really comes down to, it is not trusting, having any trust in the people who who I love and who love me. And it's taking that that one thing called love, and creating another life for myself, that what I actually felt was on the inside, that needed to come out in order to deal with what was going on, and and uh, not dealing with it, and just tucking it away and letting it wreak havoc on my mind and what was going on, and out of straight fear. And the truth is a scary thing. So I don't know what's on my neck here. The truth is a very scary uh, thing to face sometimes, and I guess you can kind of think of truth as being um, liberating and destructive at the same time. And I don't know if that's really the way to think about it, because it could be destructive. Because telling the truth really is to start telling the truth. Probably depending on what that truth is and whatever version, and I can speak for myself, whatever version that I was putting out there of myself, which was far from the truth, was I guess protecting me from what I thought would happen if the truth got out. So to let the truth out would kind of be like breaking the dam of a crack in the dam, or opening the door to what you're protecting, and kind of living in darkness. And I guess the truth I describe as being the ultimate sanitizer, and it stings at first, but when the dust settles, a few things are going to happen. And one of the things that's going to happen is there's my cuckoo clock at 12 o'clock. So I've waited for it to go, but I'm going to talk right through it this time because I love my cuckoo clock. So hopefully you do too. Plays a little tune at the end. So, but yeah, the truth, it fear of the truth, a lot of times, I guess we're feel like we're protecting ourselves from what other people, their perception of what the truth is. And I hope I'm saying this right, that it's making sense, because really what I decided when I started making these videos was that I was gonna just try to not be anecdotal. I don't want to like be like anecdotes and stuff like that, and these little bumper sticker sayings and stuff. I mean, they're good, I guess, but to tell the truth, and um, to to face it head on, and to trust it, because maybe it'll hurt some people. Maybe the version of what you were showing, or what I was showing, again, I like to speak for myself. The version of what I was, well, a lot of people like that version. I didn't, but a lot of people did, and it was protecting myself from the truth, and creating a version of myself, masks pretty much, putting on a costume and pretended to be something I wasn't, to protect what it was that I feared would cause people to pass judgment on what a things happened to me that I was dealing with when I was just a child. And these things wreaked havoc on me as I was getting older. So I guess kind of one of the things that I had to deal with, and it's when I was trying to think of my next video, and sometimes I spend more time trying to figure out what my next video is going to be, to try to articulate it better, and go over like this script in my head rather than just talking about it. And I was with my son at the kitchen table this morning right after we ate breakfast, and I started to talk about mentors in our life. And like another word for a mentor would be a coach. So a mentor, mentee, coach, player, teacher, student, that kind of thing. And when we're mentored or coached by somebody, we can learn a lot from a mentor, and we can choose our own mentors. But when a lot of times what happens, and this happened to me a lot, is I wanted to learn about a lot of things. I wanted to overcome a lot of things that I was going through. I wanted to be a better person. I wanted to learn how I can deal with all the crap that was going on in my head that was eating me up inside, that I was protecting. And again, creating a version of myself to divert that attention from what was going on in my head, and creating something else, and kind of tucking it back in my mind and not have to deal with it. But I was dealing with it. I couldn't help deal with it because when I wasn't around these people, when I was by myself, that's all I had to think about was who I really was. And I didn't like that person. So what I was talking about my son, and this happened to me a lot, was people who were, like, let's say I had a mentor who was right here and I was down here. And I'm not talking intelligence. I'm not talking, or where I felt the person who I was seeking counsel from was here and I was down here. And I think what happens a lot of times is if the person who's mentoring you, um, if they're, as they're teaching you, because when we teach, we also learn, and you can learn a lot about a subject by teaching it. And so the person who's teaching you is coming here, and you're kind of coming off that coattails, and you're learning along with them, and you're becoming a better person because of them and others, but mainly because of the mentor that you chose and the person who chose to mentor you. So now you're learning, and this person is becoming better, and you're becoming better with them because you're doing the things that they're showing you. Well, let's say for some reason your mind really starts to clean up, and you really start going into your past and picking apart what was going on, and the things that were making you feel the way you were feeling are starting to sort them things out. And that's a lot to do with this person. Now, this person can be a counselor, a friend, a parent, a teacher, athletic coach, or anybody. Could be anybody, and this person can even be mentoring you, and they don't even realize they're mentoring you. But they're making you feel like you're worth a little bit more than what you think you are. So it's sort of like a relationship where it creates a little bit of competition, where the person that's mentoring you is is in a way you're trying to please that person because you appreciate the mentorship, but at the same time, they're maybe feel in their role of mentor, see how well you're doing, and then takes that as a reflection on them, and maybe the little bit of narcissism that I think we all have, some a lot more than others. This person is really, the mentor is looking at the person they're mentoring and kind of taking a shine to the fact that this person is making this person look really good. Okay. So they want to continue that relationship. And this is where the toxicity comes from. This is where it gets toxic a lot of times. And this has happened to me a lot, is all of a sudden now, here's the mentor, here's the person being mentored, then this starts happening. Well, you know what? A lot of times this person can't have that. They can't have this. This ain't working. Because a lot of their pride comes from this, not this. So once this starts happening, I have seen it. It's happened to me, and I've seen it to happen to other people in my walks of life. Is, if necessary, this person will absolutely destroy this person. And I've seen it, and it's sad. And the only reason why this relationship happened anyway. And not saying all the time, but a lot of the times, the only reason why this was having the positive effect on this was because of this. And once this happens, this can't have this anymore. So now it has to destroy it. And I know this because it's happened to me. And this is sort of where so I guess you could say where reassurance consulting was sort of born, because I've kind of always felt like I was in this role, and most people were here. I was here. I was trying to learn here, but if I felt that what was going on in my life, the things that were happened to me as a child, that I did not want to be exposed for any reason, and I protected this life that I was leading, and it was a double life. I protected that at all cost because I did not want to be exposed for the failure that I felt I was. So I put on an act, and I got everybody, well, not everybody, but I got a lot of people to like me. I was a very pleasing person, and I gave up a lot to make sure that it was fair judgment, that I was not, felt like I wasn't being judged by other people. And I protected this identity, this identity that what I thought was my true identity. I was protecting that at all costs. So to make sure that that this didn't get out, what I was doing, it wasn't the things that I was ashamed of that happened to me. A lot of people knew that stuff. It wasn't the things, it was how I was dealing with it. It's how I was dealing with it. It's the person I thought I was inside was not the person I was letting other people see, not by a long shot. It's wanting to be mentored by somebody, and then a lot of times when I'm actually coming here, and then this person will kind of do this, and it's I don't know if that makes sense to a lot of people, or even that because this can be very subtle. That can be very subtle. This thing of the mentor taking the student, because if this student is making this mentor look really good, and kind of feeding that narcissistic hunger that I think we all have to certain degrees or in certain situations, then this person is making this person feel good because this person feels needed, and this person is providing that need. So that is, that's kind of fuel for this one. And then when this one starts going here, then now what does this one do? It doesn't feel needed anymore. It doesn't feel like it's over here. But what's the beautiful thing that happens is when the mentor is here, the student is here, and then this starts happening, and then this starts happening, and now this happened. Well, guess what just happened? This one just found somebody else that they can learn from. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So now this guy can feel good about the fact of what he did for this guy, and then they can build something amazing together, and who knows where that goes. And it's just it's instead of the mentor and the mentoree, or the coach and a player or whatever, to be in competition, it's building something beautiful, and learning, and becoming a better person, helping other people become better. And I guess that's sort of what reassurance consulting is all about, because I want to take what I've learned, as things like I experienced, the books that I've read, the people I've talked to, the ones I've associated with, and make help people to be able to help people. And I think I can do that. And I'm trying to get this thing to get traction. So and they say practice makes perfect, and I think practice makes better is more of a better way to say it. But I was kind of watching my first like 2 or 3 videos, and they're like cringeworthy because I'm like it's weird. So I think I'm getting a little bit better at this, and I think practice is making better. So it was, I look at my old videos. I'm going to keep them on there, but I want to delete them because they kind of look pathetic. But I'm going to leave them on there because, maybe they're helping people. I don't know. But I think I'm getting a little bit better at this. And I'm kind of hoping it takes off a little bit. On my website, I offer, kind of a first 30-minute um, conversation for free. And whatever it is you're going through, you want help with, you want a little coaching or a little guidance or a little consulting, then maybe we can figure that out in the 30 minutes, and then we could be done. um, my motivation really is to because I've had ideas explode in my head, and that's because I've talked about my past. I've trusted my friends. I've trusted the people I love and who love me back. And I like to say some of them ran away with their hair is on fire, and some of them stayed. And some of them said, "Why did you hold us for so long? Why didn't you tell us this sooner? Why didn't you trust us?" And that's friends and family members alike. And that's a good question. And but the ultimate sanitizer is the truth, and it's gonna sting. It might sting like hell. It might hurt. You might die by telling the truth, but I think it's a risk worth taking, because when I say die, I don't mean in a literal sense, but you may burst into flames, and your life may fall apart, but from those flames, you rebuild yourself into something even better. And and I think that's what's happening here. So let's let's see if we can figure this out. Help people to help people. I guess that could be my helping people to help people. So that's sort of like the mission, I guess, and where I want this thing to go. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna end it there. So God bless. Keep in the fight. Tell the truth, and it may sting, but it's going to lead you to a good place, an honest place, a real place. Okay, thank you, and God bless. Love you.